Hey you guys, so today we are going to be doing lesson 14 over quotation marks. The lesson objective is, I will properly use quotation marks in my writing. For this lesson, you will need your grammar notebook, a pencil, and a quotation marks doodle notes located in your Avid binder. So to begin, we're going to talk about dialogue. Dialogue in writing expresses a conversation. So here is a dialogue. I baked a chocolate cake, said Sam. I would like a piece, replied Kim. So here is your dialogue. Commas are used to set off a speaker's words from the rest of the sentence. Quotation marks are used to show the speaker's words exactly as they were spoken. Below in bold you see an example. I do not like milk, stated John. So in pink you can see the quotation marks around what John stated, and you can see the comma inside of the quotation marks at the end of what John said. She was born in California, my mom declared. So here in bold, you see the dialogue tag. Dialogue tags identify who spoke and how they spoke. So now it's time for your quotation mark doodle notes. Please keep in mind that the notes that you see on the PowerPoint and the notes that you have in front of you do not look exactly alike, but they carry the same information. So anything that needs to be written in your notes will be typed in red, and if you need any more time, please pause the video. So here is your first note. Dialogue tags can be placed at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of dialogue. So in your beginning tag, it states, Mary said, I love to eat pizza. So Mary said is the tag at the beginning of your dialogue. In the middle tag, I love to eat pizza, said Mary, but pasta is my favorite food. So underlined you can see, said Mary is in the middle of the dialogue. And lastly, your ending tag, I love to eat pizza, said Mary. So you can see the tag is at the end of the dialogue. So here are 3 ways that you can see dialogue tags in a dialogue whenever you're writing. Now at the bottom of your doodle notes, you will do the same thing. Write anything that is in red and pause the video if you need more time. So again, you see a beginning tag. Logan declared, I have never been to Disneyland. A middle tag, where you see the tag in the middle of a dialogue, states, I have never been to Disneyland, declared Logan, but I hope to go soon. And a tag at the end of the dialogue, I have never been to Disneyland, Logan declared. So please pause the video and take these notes that are in red. So here are more examples. Where do the commas and quotation marks belong? So in the first example, it's going to rain, said Ben. You can see the quotation marks in pink and the comma in blue inside of the quotations. The next, she whispered, I know a secret. So now you see the comma after the tag and the quotation marks around what the person said. And you also see the ending punctuation inside of the quotation marks. Lastly, may I have a cookie? I asked. So again, you see the quotation marks around what the person is saying and an ending punctuation inside of quotation marks. Dialogue that ends with a period and that's followed by a tag will have a comma before the closing quotation mark. So here's another example. It is going to rain, warned Ben, so make sure to bring an umbrella. So here you can see the tag in the middle of the dialogue, quotation marks around what the person is saying, a comma inside of the quotation marks, And again, you see quotation marks around what he is saying again. And a ending punctuation is still inside of the quotations. So at this time, please fold your notes hamburger style and glue them into your grammar notebook. Once you are done, please put everything down and enjoy the vocabulary video provided.
Vocabulary, quotation marks. I hate waiting. Hurry up, said Caitlin. Hey, that's a quotation. That's when someone says word for word. It's not a paraphrase or a summary, you heard? Also known as dialogue. We do it a lot when we ask, yell, whisper, and remark. How do we tell description and dialogue apart? We punctuate with quotation marks. They surround dialogue on both sides like Chris said, this will be a surprise. Those words Chris said, they tell you who's speaking. That's a dialogue tag, and we need them. Caitlin asked is an example of a tag. Set it apart from the quote with a comma, such as Caitlin asked, but when is it going to start? That's a question, so we use a question mark. And mark my words, the end punctuation always goes inside the quotation marks. And while we're being all grammatical, the first word of a quote starts with a capital.
Quotation marks, they always have a friend. They surround dialogue at the beginning and the end. They show you what's dialogue and what's not. And you can quote me on that if you want. Quotation marks, they always have a friend. They surround dialogue at the beginning and the end. They show you what's dialogue and what's not. And you can quote me on that if you want.
You can use speech bubbles in a comic book, but when you write, quotation marks are a good look. Do you like surprises? Chris asked Caitlin. Now the tag's after the quotation. No sweat. We can flip it both ways. If it's a statement, there's a rule we obey. I like surprises. Caitlin replied, that's a statement. So we put a comma inside the quotation marks instead of a period. So don't write this, write this. You feeling it? This may be shocking, Chris remarked, but I'm part human and part dog. We call that a broken quotation. The dialogue tag is in the middle of what he's saying. This is capitalized, but is not, and we need two commas in the spot. One right here and one right there. In quotation marks, we have two pairs. Oh yeah, said Caitlin, I figured that was the case. I mean, who has a full beard in the 5th grade?
Quotation marks, they always have a friend. They surround dialogue at the beginning and the end. They show you what's dialogue and what's not. And you can quote me on that if you want. Quotation marks, they always have a friend. They surround dialogue at the beginning and the end. They show you what's dialogue and what's not. And you can quote me on that if you want.
You can also use quotation marks to show the titles of short stories, poems, songs, or newspaper and magazine articles like this. I just read an article in the New York Times called Boys Becoming Wolves.
So thank you for watching, and please make sure you glue everything into your grammar notebook.